Hello everyone, I'm Kota and welcome back to my channel. Now, first things first, I know on my last episode I said this channel was called Hero Builders, but after a quick search, I discovered there was another Hero Builders on YouTube that was way ahead of me. So, I decided to change the name of my channel to the least confusing name. By that I mean I just looked up a bunch of stuff on YouTube and found I just went with the one that had the least amount of searches. So if you're looking for my channel right now, you can find it by looking up Kota atok, and that's Kota and Kota again spelled backwards. In addition, I created a new photo for my channel. Hope y'all like it. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way, this video is going to be one of my questionnaire videos. Now, like I said in my last video, some of the rules for these will be different almost every single time. So for now, I'll just tell you the basics. Okay, now, have any of y'all heard of these YouTube videos where they ask you a bunch of questions in order to find out what kind of animal, superhero, mythical creature you are, and so on? Okay, that's basically what this questionnaire is going to be about, however, with my own personal twist. This questionnaire video is going to be, what is your stand? Now, for those of you who don't know what a stand is, I'll give you a brief explanation. Basically, it's a power that manifests itself as a spirit that walks beside you, or in or some other way, but mostly a spirit. And it comes from this anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Now, here's where my twist comes in. I will not be using any stands from the anime. Instead, I'll be using stands I've made myself. That way, it feels a little less like a copycat and more like your own power. Sound good? Now, there will be a total of 5 stands, and at the end of the video, I will explain their names and how their powers work. Some of the explanations may take a long time, so if you don't feel like waiting that long, what I'll try to do is I'll leave a comment down below of your scores and a timestamp where you can find them in this video. Okay, before we get started, 2 last things I need you guys to know. If you are familiar with the JoJo's Bizarre Adventures A, I am only aware of the stands that are in Stardust Crusaders, Diamond Unbreakable, and Golden Wind. Any other stands that exist outside of those 3, I do not know of. So if my stands sound like the ones you've already heard of, that's probably why. Okay, now second thing, the stands names always have a reference to a song except for Crusaders, but in this case mine will. Now, you guys can try and comment down below and guess what the music reference is for these stands, and in my next video I'll let you know what they are. Alright, now let's begin. Alright, by now you've already finished the quiz, so let's get started on your stance. If you got less than 100, then your stand is radioactive child. Now this stand is a close to long range, sorry, my bad. First, the user must select an emotion, then the stand will put a sticker on the target. Once the target feels this emotion, parts of their body will start turning to stone. It will keep going like this until eventually the entire target becomes a statue. And if the target is a stand user, then the same goes for the stand. Also, parts of their bodies will start to lock up, as well as feel as heavy as stone. And in order for the target to become a full statue, the target will need to feel the emotion for at least 6 minutes. And if the target were to stop feeling the emotion, then it will pause, and then it will restart again once the emotion is felt again. Okay, next up, if you got between 100 and 150, then your stand is called Toxic Trip. This stand can have up to 4 targets, and it's a close range stand up to 10 meters. First, the user must be within 10 meters of its target, and it can switch the controls of their bodies. To better understand this, you ever play a multiplayer game with somebody, you put down the controllers for whatever reason, walk away, and then come back, and then you accidentally pick up each other's controllers, and you start playing as each other's characters for a while, and you don't even realize it. And the whole time you're playing, you're trying to control what your character does, but for some reason it's doing something else completely. Okay, it's kind of like that, but replace the controllers, which are with you, and the console. I mean the characters with your actual bodies. And the user can also switch his own controls with his targets for one-on-one. I imagine you don't understand how would this be a good stand, but think of it like this: when you play the game like that, you realize how often your character gets attacked whenever that happens, right? So it's kind of similar to that scenario. Okay, next up, if you got 160 through 190, then your stand's name is Lucky Jack. Now, this stand will affect both the target and the user, and once it's activated, not even the user can stop it. The stand will appear as an hourglass, and in order for it to work, the user must first look at the target, and it has to be a physical sight. It cannot be through a camera or a video. You have to physically look at the target. And next, the user must decide the order. Why is that important? Because both the user and the target will experience 2 hours of luck. Whether that luck be good or bad is up to the user, and they only experience 1 hour each of luck. Put it to you like this: let's say in the first hour, the target is the one experiencing the bad luck, and the user is experiencing the good luck. Once the first hour's up, the hourglass stand will automatically flip, and then their lucks will be switched. And it will continue like that until the 2 hours are up. Also, if you experience any luck stereotypes within those 2 hours, the luck will become stronger. For example, if you go under a ladder, break a mirror, or find a lucky rabbit's foot or four-leaf clover, then your luck will become stronger within those hours. Okay, next up, if you got 200 to 230, then your stand is called Happy Face. The way this works is the stand user must first make the target's emotion and expression change. For example, if the target is currently happy, then the user must switch his emotion to sadness somehow. When this happens, then the user has full control over the target's facial expression and arms, but not the target's legs or his vocal cords. The purpose of this stand is to cause mischief for its target. How would that be useful? Let's say, for example, if you're at home watching a football game with your family, and they all root for the same team, and you make your target root for the opposite team. Can you see how that would be bad if they went to like a actual game and they did that? Okay, finally, this is 240 to 280, and this stand is called Knight's Run. This is a close range stand, and it has the ability to reverse time for a certain object. Now, I already know what you're thinking, and no, this is not like the stand Deadly Queen bites the dust. This stand works differently, but it does have one similarity between that stand. Um, let's say, for example, you drive a car from point A to point B. Then you activate your stand, the car will automatically go back to the back to point A, and then you reactivate it again, and the car will automatically drive itself back to point B, and it will take the same exact way it did the first time, and it will not change its direction or speed or anything unless something new is introduced to block its path. Let's say like a traffic jam, but it wouldn't stop automatically unless it like hits something. The limits to this stand are anything that you can't physically move yourself. For instance, if you could drive a car or fly a plane, then it would work on that. But if you can't physically move the object by yourself, then it would not. It will not work. Like, say, for example, if you try to move a boulder that was way too heavy for you, then it cannot work. Unless, of course, you see the boulder fall by natural causes, and in which case, then you'll be able to move it back up to the way it was. Also, the power of this stand does not allow you to restore any damage. So if anything breaks, then the stand cannot reverse it. Unless the thing that broke was the object itself that you're reversing. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you guys here again soon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.